Attention passionate Detroit, Lions fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Detroit Lions' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Detroit Lions fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Detroit Lions fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. Hold on tight because what I'm about to tell you could be one of the most game-changing rumors we've seen in a while. Word on the street, and I mean from some pretty reliable sources, is that the Detroit Lions are eyeing a blockbuster move that could redefine their defensive front and honestly shake up the entire NFC North. The name that's been buzzing around is Max Crosby, the relentless edge rusher from the Las Vegas Raiders. Yeah, you heard right. The Lions might be making a serious push to bring Crosby into their fold, and if it happens, it could be a game-changer for the team's Super Bowl aspirations. Let's start by looking at what makes Crosby such a hot commodity right now. At just 28 years old, he's already established himself as one of the most feared pass rushers in the league. In 2025, he put up a stellar 12 sacks in just 12 games, which is impressive considering the inconsistency we often see with players across the league. That puts him fifth among edge rushers and shows his ability to get after the quarterback at a high level. But it's not just sack numbers. Crosby's impact goes beyond that. He's accumulated 55 tackles, with 40 of those being solo efforts, and has been a disruptive force with 16 tackles for loss. His pressures are off the charts, with a total of 75, ranking him third in the league, and his win rate, meaning how often he wins his pass rush matchups, is a solid 22%, which places him among the top 4 in the NFL. What really makes Crosby stand out, especially for a team like Detroit, is his consistency and ability to make plays in critical moments. His overall PFF grade in 2025 was an outstanding 90.5, which is elite, and his pass rush grade was an eye-popping 91.8. These numbers tell you that Crosby isn't just a guy who racks up stats. He's a game wrecker who elevates the entire defensive line. His run defense grade is also impressive at 88.9, demonstrating he's not only a pass rushing specialist but also a stout defender against the run. With a win rate of 22%, Crosby is constantly winning his battles, and that pressure on quarterbacks often leads to turnovers and game-changing plays. Let's talk about his career for a moment because Crosby's stats really tell the story of a player who's been a consistent force since coming into the league. He's accumulated over 70 sacks and 450 tackles across his career, with about 50 tackles for loss and 15 forced fumbles. The guy is a true difference maker, and his WAR wins above replacement on PFF is around 2.0, indicating he's worth at least 2 extra wins for his team over replacement-level players. His 2024 season was pretty good, with 7.5 sacks in just 12 games, and despite some injuries in 2025, he still managed to stay largely healthy, missing only 2 games. His EPA, expected points added, per snap is plus 0.14, showing he makes a real difference in the field. Now, why would the Lions be so interested in a player like Crosby? Well, for starters, it's about bolstering that pass rush, which has been solid but not quite elite. Currently, the Lions' defense ranks 11th in sacks with 50, but adding Crosby could push that number up significantly. Experts are projecting Crosby could add around 14 sacks to Detroit's total, which would be a massive boost. His pressure numbers could increase by about 25%, and his presence alone would force quarterbacks to think twice before holding onto the ball. His ability to stop the run would also improve dramatically. Stats show run stops could jump by 32%, and his impact on the defense would be felt across the board. This move could also have a ripple effect, especially in high-pressure situations. Crosby is known for his clutch plays in the playoffs, much like Nick Bosa's impact in San Francisco in 2022, forcing fumbles and disrupting the pocket at crucial moments. His presence would elevate Detroit's defense into a true nightmare for opposing quarterbacks, especially in third-down situations. Pairing Crosby with Hutchinson, another rising star on the edge, creates a duo that could be relentless, setting up the Lions for more turnovers and more sacks, exactly what they need to keep opponents on their heels. The potential for mismatches against weaker offensive lines, like those of the Bears or other NFC North rivals, would give Detroit a significant advantage in both pass rush and run defense. And let's not forget the big picture. The Lions, with Crosby, would be climbing odds for the Super Bowl. Currently, they're listed at plus 4,000, but with a move like this, betting odds could shrink dramatically, perhaps to plus 1,000 or even lower. Crosby's reputation as a playoff disruptor, with a knack for forcing fumbles and creating chaos, makes him a perfect fit for Detroit's Super Bowl push. His ability to elevate the team's defense to an elite level would be a huge catalyst for Detroit's chances of finally breaking through and making a deep postseason run. Think about the impact on the team's morale, the energy in the locker room, and the confidence knowing they have a player who can turn the tide in tight games. Crosby could be that difference maker. Now, there's a strategic aspect to this as well. The Raiders, who are sitting with a 6-11 record last season and missing the playoffs, are in a bit of a rebuild. They're dealing with a defense that's giving up 28 points per game, and their cap situation isn't ideal, about $12 million over the cap for 2026. The Raiders are also in need of fresh starts, especially on offense, with a young quarterback and some promising prospects like Bowers. They're reportedly willing to part ways with Crosby, freeing up around $25 million in cap space, because they're prioritizing a rebuild and want to acquire draft capital. The idea is to shed some veteran contracts, get younger, and build around their future stars. This is where the Lions come in, especially considering their recent developments and the desire to build a defense that can dominate in the postseason. Adding Crosby would be a seismic shift, not just for this season, but for the next few years. His leadership, experience, and talent would set the tone for a defense that's already promising. Plus, the Lions have shown they're not afraid to make bold moves, whether it's trading up for a star or making aggressive signings to improve the roster. Crosby fits the mold perfectly, an elite player who can elevate everyone around him. From a tactical standpoint, Detroit's coaching staff would love having Crosby to deploy in various packages. His ability to rush from multiple angles, combined with Hutchinson's power and speed, creates a nightmare scenario for offensive lines trying to contain both. It's not just about sacks, it's about the pressure, the constant disruption, and forcing quarterbacks into rushed throws or mistakes. Crosby's presence on third downs, especially, would be a game changer, increasing the defense's effectiveness and helping them close out games more confidently. In terms of the long-term effects, bringing in a player like Crosby can send a message across the league about Detroit's intentions. It signals that this team isn't satisfied with merely competing. They want to dominate and contend for titles. Crosby's high motor, relentless style, and proven production make him a perfect fit for a team with Super Bowl aspirations. It's about stacking talent, creating a culture of winning, and giving the Lions a clear path to becoming a true juggernaut in the NFC. But of course, nothing is set in stone yet. The rumors are swirling, and the negotiations are probably ongoing behind closed doors. The Lions will have to maneuver around cap space, draft picks, and the Raiders' asking price, which is expected to include a first-round pick in 2026. That's a hefty price tag, but for a player like Crosby, it could be justified if it means a shot at a Super Bowl sooner rather than later. The fans are excited, and rightfully so. The idea of adding a player who can instantly upgrade the pass rush and turn the defense into a top-5 unit is tantalizing. So, Detroit fans, keep your eyes peeled, because if this deal goes down, it's going to be one of those moves that people talk about for years. It could shift the balance of power in the NFC North, make the Lions even more formidable in the playoffs, and set the stage for a new era of dominance. Imagine Crosby lining up alongside Hutchinson, creating chaos for offenses all season long, and leading the charge for what could be a deep playoff run and, who knows, maybe even a Super Bowl title. That's the kind of bold move that could redefine the franchise's future. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Detroit Lions news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Detroit Lions fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Crosby is the missing piece to propel Detroit into serious Super Bowl contention? Or do you believe the price tag might be too steep? Either way, your opinion matters so much to us and to the Lions organization. Remember, this is a fan community, and your voice is what makes it special. I'll be back soon with more updates and insights, so stay tuned for the latest Detroit Lions news. We're on the cusp of something big, and I can't wait to see how this story unfolds. Keep the passion alive, Lions fans. We're building something special here, and with the right moves, the sky's the limit for our team.